the fancy boxing Jimmy Young. In the heat in, I believe, San Juan, Puerto Rico, correct?
San Juan, Puerto Rico was 100 degrees in the building.
You were there. You know about that heat.
Well, that was about as much snap as I've seen George have on a punch tonight. A little left hook.
He has not gotten leverage on his punches. He's landed some big ones, warning the Qawi for low blows. Qawi landing a couple of good shots.
Foreman pushes Qawi back, and while he's off balance, he doesn't jump on him. And that takes some energy to be pushing that 222 pounds around all the time. Well, Qawi just relaxes, steps straight back, and George doesn't look to punch him. Time after time.
That tactic started when he did so effectively to Joe Frazier and pushed him off his rhythm. But in this instance, it seems that's not necessary. He could just stand back and punch like that.
George is looking to find it. You can move your head all night, Al, but your body doesn't move. George can try to throw some real bombs downstairs.
He's really not trying to hit the body of Qawi. He's landing in this round, no question about that. He's having a good 6th round.
And he got nailed.
Qawi lands a short right hand and a left hook. Another hook by Qawi. Foreman just pushes him off. But you have to start thinking decision here if this fight keeps going and start talking about who's landing more punches. Foreman's had a pretty good 6th round, but Qawi came with a couple of big shots.
Well, if this fight continues this way, I think we're going to see a very controversial decision.
It does have split decision written all over it. Right hand by Foreman, and that uppercut hurt. He faked him out. Wow. He faked out Foreman, then came back with a right hand. That was fascinating. I've never seen a fighter fake that much.
No, it looked like he was going down.
Wow. We've all seen Ali fake being hurt, but not quite in that posture.
And now George turned around and looked at his corner.
Gil, do you feel like everything is kind of in slow motion here?
Yes, I
certainly
do.
We're watching a fight as if you could stop it and use a still every 10 or 12 seconds. There's 22 seconds left in round 6, and that left hook did hurt him. That's a knockdown because no, it isn't. It should have been. He went against the ropes.
Against the ropes, right? That's correct.
That should have been a knockdown. Instead, Foreman stopped punching. Qawi got up. Oh, there's been some odd things in this round. Qawi went down a couple of rounds ago. No, nothing was called. We'll do it for round 6. There's a full moon out tonight.
Next round is going to be an important round, Al. If Qawi gets by the next round, I think we're going to find things very, very interesting. Depends on how much will Qawi has right now.
How you feeling? Tell me, boy. Huh? How you feel?
Serious questions being asked in that corner, and here's what we thought might have been a knockdown.
Big left hook by George. That is a knockdown.
Yes.
When the ropes prevent you from going down, it's supposed to be a knockdown.
It's what the rule book says, but in this case, it wasn't called a knockdown. Using the end swell on the swelling on the left eye of George Foreman. We're moving into round 7. It's been a bout in which that man George Foreman has hurt Qawi a couple times, but Qawi has also nailed him.
I think this is the key round right now, Al. This is going to be the key.
And if you're wondering, George Foreman, since he started his comeback in March of '87, has never gone to the 7th round. So this is new territory for him since he came back.
Blood on the front of Qawi's trunks, but I can't spot where he's bleeding from, Al. He's so wide open for a left hook underneath Qawi. I mean, to feint that jab, he could just rip that hook under.
And you would think that would be something George Foreman would be using.
Well, somebody maybe has to tell him.
It's true.
And even then, what makes you think he'd pay attention, you know?
The right hand gets there by Foreman. There's the uppercut, and that right hand pushes Qawi back. But Before we have thought Qawi might be in real trouble, and he wasn't. The jab in the right hand by Foreman, and the jab helping to set things up. And as you said, Gil, it's something he should have used earlier.
He's got a great jab, but he just won't use it.
That was always the case, even in the old days.
Well, he's using it now, Al. 5 consecutive good jabs, and then he went to the body.
Well, you said this would be a key round, and right now George Foreman is dominating it.
There was the first good left hook to the body, which I think he can land all day.
And I'm not sure that didn't really hurt Qawi. I think Qawi wants to quit. That's it.
Well, as I said, Al, he had the will to get by this round, which he did not have.
Well, it's an unsatisfactory ending, to be sure, from all standpoints. But as you look at George Foreman, he'll take it because he gets the win and, I guess, continues on in his comeback bid.
Well, we said it, we thought it might be an ugly fight, Al, and it was. There was nothing sparkling about the fight whatsoever. George just brutalized the fight. Qawi is what he did.
And there were, of course, many times in that fight, and it'll be interesting if we get a chance to get the judges' scorecards, how they had that scored, because there's a very good chance in my mind Qawi was maybe even or a little bit ahead. It was close anyway.
Very, very close. I thought maybe the Foreman was
by a point or two.
That's all.
Well, George Foreman wins on a TKO. It is his 8th straight win since his comeback. And as all the others had ended in a knockout, this time he was extended to 7 rounds, the longest he has gone. And some people will wonder, did he beat anybody in Dwight Muhammad Qawi? And what would a top heavyweight do to him? Well, I guess we'll get that answer in the future.
Well, there we see the both fighters, as usual, hugging each other after a fight. Let's take a look at some of those short. The end of there was that good left hook underneath. I think that took all the rest of the fight out of Dwight Qawi. I had been mentioning he was wide open for that punch, and he's just brutalizing him now. Nothing great, no big snap, but the punches are there, and I guess Qawi knew he was out of gas, and that was the end of the fight. Now let's go up to the center of the ring to Chuck Hull.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I give the time, I would like to introduce you to a legend of boxing. A legend at his own time, a former light heavyweight champion of the world, Archie Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 1 minute, 51 seconds of the 7th round. The winner by a TKO, former heavyweight champion, George Foreman.
But George Foreman, official announcement is made to this crowd. Of course, they knew he had won on a technical knockout when Dwight Muhammad Qawi simply quit here in the 7th round after taking some shots to the body and some shots to the head and really having a very tough time of it. And George is making his way over here now. George, if we can spin you around here, if that's possible. This fight started out on a tough note because Qawi was landing those overhand rights and those left hooks. Were you hurt by any of those?
Well, not really, but I was really devastated by his energy, his ability to recover from punches.
It looked to us like you had a hard time getting off with your jab, and then finally you got that left hook into the body. Was he a tough target to hit?
Let's face it, shorter guys are really unorthodox for boxers. The shorter they are, the harder it is to get an orthodox jab off on him, and he was playing it real good. He played my jab, but as a rule, it caught up with him. The toll did catch up with him. He's a fine man, brave individual.
Were you happy with what you did tonight?
Well, you know, I'm happy when I win, but he wasn't hurt, and I'm thankful to God for all of that. I'd like to say hello to my sparring partner, Roscoe, down in Houston. He was a middleweight who got me in shape for throwing fast punches. And I'd like to say that I feel overshadowed by you. You're too much of a celebrity. You know, you're a singer and everything. Yeah. I'm just a boxer, but...
Well, but in this fight, there were moments where it looked like you got everything going, and there were moments where it was very difficult to you. How do you assess what this means to you in terms of going to fight a top 10 heavyweight?
Well, I really didn't want to get out there and get a first-round knockout. That's what I was trying to avoid. I wanted to use my left jab, see how I could do against shorter guys who have good overhand rights. The heavyweight champion of the world fights like that. So it's to my benefit that I go one or even several rounds with these kind of fighters. I'll only get better, and they'll get hurt anyway because they can't definitely reach me at all times.
Okay, George, thanks. Congratulations.
Okay, say hello to all the friends.